Hey, that's not cheering. What are you doing? You think that's supposed to inspire me? That is not how you inspire. You are not cheering me on. You're actually doing the opposite. That's the topic of today's video. Some people, they don't know how to cheer you on. I was thinking about that this morning. By the way, my name is Ayin, in case this is one of your first times tuning in. I was thinking about that this morning. I was thinking about how it was actually a particular situation that I was thinking about. I was thinking about a situation where I'm going to line it up like this, so you'll get where I'm coming from. In this situation, you got two individuals. One individual typically leans on the other a lot more. I'll say for the majority of their life, right? The other individual that's being leaned on, they consistently bring up on, you know what, without getting into all the details, we're going to keep it simple. The individual that's being leaned on, I know you want the details, don't you? But we're going to keep it simple. The individual that's being leaned on, they're consistently reminding the person that's doing the leaning on just how much they're benefiting them and leaning on. Okay, you got that image in your head? The person that's doing the leaning and has done the leaning for the majority of their life is, well, not just now hearing, has been consistently hearing throughout this whole leaning process from the person that's being leaned on, hey, look, I'm a benefit to you, basically, and for lack of better words, throwing it up in their face, right? That's the scenario. Now, you listening? Now, the person who stops leaning is walking tall on their own, and they're doing well. You follow me? The person who was used to being leaned on, is now talking mess about what they're doing. They're over scrutinizing some of the moves that they're doing. Now, I'm a bystander as well, and I'm going to let you know that the moves that this person who was doing the leaning was doing, they're not doing anything irregular that any adult would not have had to have done on their own in acquiring things. They're not doing anything unscrupulous or, shady. They're just going on about their life. And the person that was being leaned on has been making like condescending remarks. And you get the point. Now, this situation puzzled me. Because I'm thinking, why? Why do you care? Seems like you would be happy that they're not leaning on you anymore. Then it hit me as I'm thinking about it this morning. I go, you know what? Some people are so used to being leaned on and just being the person that knows it all in the situation and just feeling like they have a use or something. And with all that comes, talking down to people. And wait, before I go on with this, I'm going to say, because it's kind of coming back to me, on an older video, I slightly made reference to this, but it still wasn't in the capacity of this. How sometimes you have mentors in your life that used to be your mentors, but then when you're all grown up, kind of hits them hard, and they can kind of come sideways at you like this. Don't remember the name of the video. It's close to 500 on them. Do your research. But the video's on this channel. I know I done recorded it and released it. But anyways, it hit me when I thought about it. I'm like, man, how could that even come to your mind of trying to belittle the person for making adult moves? Then it hit me, and I thought to myself, man, you simply don't know how to cheer people on. And it's not that you don't know how. It's not like you're making little missteps. You're clearly you're being unhealthy. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into all the details because the details are coming across my mind, and I know you want to hear them, but just so we don't lose track of what we're trying to talk about on this topic here, just keep that in mind. This person is basically making snide comments about the adult moves that they're making. That's all you need to know. They're healthy moves that they're making, and you got to ask yourself, why would the person that was being leaned on Because obviously you wanted to assist them, and you've been fine with assisting them for this length of time. Now that they're making adult moves, and they're healthy, it doesn't matter that they're not the moves that you would do in particular, and you may look at them as mistakes. That's irrelevant. And actually, I just think that that's a cop-out. Unless you were robbing Peter to pay Paul, and what I mean by that analogy, for some of you who have never heard that, or maybe they're just too young for that, unless you saw the person really digging themselves into a hole of something that was just, really tumultuous, just really gonna come around and bite them. And still, even at that, you got to leave people to their own devices on certain things. You can't be wrapped up. But if you saw that and you're just like, look, I'd rather you lean on me because what the mess that you're making is going to be something that's way worse to try to get out of. And then I'm going to have to come to your aid on that. I could somewhat see if that was the case, but you got to trust me on this one. That's not the case of what we're talking about here. I'm a bystander. I'm looking at it. Some people just write it off and say, man, this person is just hating. You can chalk it up to whatever you want. Yeah, I think all of that is true. But you got to ask yourself, why are you in that mindset? What do you have to gain from that? And if you're this person that had done the leaning and now you're walking on your own, you got to ask yourself, man, if any of this is coming back around to you, which I'm pretty sure it has, like I said, it's being a bystander from it, you got to ask yourself, what do I need to do so I can make sure that I'm walking in the best way possible, because I don't want to have to be in this situation again. I want to evaluate the ones that's up around me. Maybe this person doesn't need to know every move that I make. The reason why I'm stopping and I'm smiling and I'm pausing, you already know. If you're watching me on here, you already should know some traits of my personality. You know I'm getting ready to dig back into one of those older videos. And what I'm about to say from one of those older videos, it gets back to something I've said almost 3 years ago. People don't need to know every little thing that you're doing when you're working on your goals. And they don't need to know all of that for this very reason. It's hard enough trying to accomplish certain things and be successful in your life with hearing what you hear from naysayers anyway. Leaving out constructive criticism. Not going to even go down that path. But just people who are hating on doing what you're doing anyway, just for the fact of being successful. So, broadcasting that just might not be the best move for you. You don't want to put any more obstacles in your way than you have to. I'm going to stop there. I'm not stopping this video. I'm going to stop there on that topic. Going back to the topic of this video, some people just don't know how to cheer people on. Think about that. Answer that question to yourself. If you're looking to be cheered on, and you're getting what we talked about earlier in this video, maybe that's not the person that needs to cheer you on. These are some of the lessons that you can learn from so you can improve upon your circle. This is the very reason why there's been, changes in my life. Some of the positions had to be moved around. You hate to sound like this with people like it, it's all a game, but a lot of times people do it to themselves. They do you that way. You have to shift and move around. I've said this in an older video of mine when I was just stating, just because you've had a front row in my life doesn't mean that seat's guaranteed. It takes work to be in my front circle, or front row of my life, that inner circle. I don't have room for you to just sit there. I'm not just sitting there. You got the point. I just wanted to take time out to discuss this with you today. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow my other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. Check out the book that I've written, Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication. The link is in the description box. I'm Ayin. Stay encouraged. Avoid being discouraged. You all have a good one.